and welcome to the Daily Report on the 9th of April. We are, as always, your faithful and humble hosts, ready to bring you what's happening across the world, as well as a discussion like no other on the People's Court. My name is Victor Muyakane, and you are welcome.
Karibu sana. My name is Linda Alela, and it being the People's Court, of course, courtesy of the Daily Report, we get into that conversation that involves you and me, the rampant road accidents that are happening in the country. What is contributing to this? We have listened to, of course, the CS, that is Kipchumba Murkomen, highlighting this, as well as the IG, focusing so much so on what the government intends to do so that we make this a game of the past. But just looking at the statistics and the numbers that are here from January all the way to April, it is quite worrying. And so we'll be trying to look at all this. And today, we make it simple by involving people who are road users, daily road users,
Absolutely.
So that they can tell us what do they need to do, what are they intending to do to make sure that they join in that, of course, conversation by the government that will bring change and ensure that we are safe on the roads.
Absolutely. And my name is George Maringa. The wonderful Catherine Simaloy is on sign language interpretation tonight. Deadly roads is our topic of discussion tonight, as Linda and Victor have mentioned, and we invite your feedback exactly on what is happening day in, day out. For the last couple of weeks, we have not missed a story. We have not missed to inform you of a case of accident in the country. So much so that it is a worrying trend, especially with the rains. Tonight, we will be looking at it from a three-dimension. We shall be looking at what to do when it happens, how to respond, and how to mitigate it. We shall be having that conversation. Our SMS lines are open to 2047. Start with your name, where you're watching us from, followed by your question, comment, or opinion regarding the show tonight. At George Maringa _, at Linda _Alela, at
Muyakane.
Absolutely.
You should have told this guy Karibu. I know you were here on Monday.
It's good to have you back, Coach Karibu Sana. I know for quite some time the fans were asking us, why are you a duo when we used to a trio? Well, the third musketeer has arrived, and we're
all in blue tonight.
It's like we all got the memo, which is a nice thing. Yeah,
absolutely.
And with that out of the way, first
the highlights.
Tonight, within a span of 24 hours, 14 people tragically lose their lives in two separate accidents in Kericho and Nakuru.
Leo tumesikitishwa na ajali mbaya ambayo imetokea sehemu hii karibu Gata Bridge.
This as Transport Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen instructs road and transport agencies to make sure that all major roads within Nairobi County are marked clearly. 3 additional healthcare unions join in the doctors' strike as Interior CS Professor Kithure Kindiki prohibits demonstrations.
Next week, we had said we were demonstrating on Wednesday, but we have changed. Next week, we'll demonstrate on Tuesday and Thursday.
Plus, 51 passengers find themselves trapped after the bus they were traveling in was swept away by floods along the Garissa-Mwingi Road as floods wreak havoc in different parts of the country.
Tukachukua kamba, nikaogelea mimi na wenzangu, tukafika hapo. Hiyo kamba ndio tumesaidia wao kutoa watu juu ya basi.
We thank you for choosing TV47 to inform you. For those of us watching on terrestrial platforms as well as YouTube and our website, we thank you as always for your patronage and choosing us to inform you. Let's get the show on the road now, shall we? And the government, through the Ministry of Roads and Transport, has issued a raft of new measures to curb the rising cases of road accidents in the country. Transport CS Onesmus Kipchumba Murkomen directed that all PSVs and commercial vehicles be presented for compliance check within 30 days, while schools are required to present their vehicles for inspection by 1st of May. The regulations come at the backdrop of increased road accidents in the country. 1,270 lives have been claimed on the roads since the year started, as compared to 1,000 1,160, lives in the same period last year. Meanwhile, excess passengers, drivers and conductors will be charged in line with the Traffic Act.
Involved in a crash and is found to have been on the road longer than the stipulated working hours will have their operator license and vehicles insurance suspended. If your driver is driving more than 8 hours, which is the stipulated period, we will make sure that whether or not they're involved in a crash, we will take away your license.
Enough is enough. Hii tabia hatuwezi endelea vile tunaendelea. Kila siku kupoteza watu 14. Hatuwezi endelea hivyo, nchi haiwezi endelea vile tunaendelea. Na tumekubaliana kama kikosi cha polisi. Tutaungana na Ministry of Transport na NTSA. Tutatumia ule uwezo tuko nao kuhakikisha kile kinafanyika sasa akitaendelea.
And of course, that story will be forming part of our discussion tonight. Be sure to join the People's Court in just about half an hour's time. Still on that, barely hours after 6 people died in a grisly road accident in Kericho County, 8 more people have been confirmed dead following another road accident along the Nakuru-Nairobi highway after a private van collided with a trailer at Ngata Bridge around 5:30 a.m. on Tuesday, as Chichi Josephine now tells us.
At least 8 people were on Tuesday morning killed in a grisly road accident in Ngata area, Nakuru County, on the Nakuru-Eldoret highway. Confirming the incident, Rongai OCPD Wilberforce Sichirai noted that a private van that was allegedly ferrying passengers to KC for an event collided head-on with a trailer, resulting in the deaths of 6 adults and 2 children.
Tumesikitishwa na ajali mbaya ambayo imetokea sehemu hii karibu Ngata Bridge katika barabara hii Eldoret kwenda Nakuru, ambapo imehusisha magari matatu. Gari moja ambalo watu wamepoteza maisha ni gari la kubeba abiria, ni private Toyota Hiace. Watu 8 wale waliokuwa ndani wote wameaka, watu 6 watu wazima na watu 2 ni watoto.
Eyewitnesses recounted the harrowing experience of retrieving the victims from the wreckage while one person was rushed to Nakuru Teaching and Referral Hospital.
Kuna mtu mmoja tu ambaye tumepeleka hospitali PGH na huyo anaendelea na matibabu, tunamwombea nafuu ya haraka.
Sasa hivi tumepoteza wapendo wengi sana, tukiwa na msangao tumeshinda chochote la kusema. Kwa wale watu ambao tumeweza kutoa pale, watu wakubwa, watu 4 pamoja na watoto 2.
Relatives and friends congregated at the Nakuru PGH Annex where shock and grief were palpable.
Kuna mtu mmoja ambaye nimembeba kwa gari asubuhi. Ni mmoja kati ya wale abiria ambao wamefariki baada ya kumchukua saa 8:30, akawa ako na haraka sana. Basi huyo mzee tukampeana kwa hiyo gari na ndipo hawakwenda mbali kutoka Kolen kwenda Ngata, wakawa wamepata ajali.
This comes barely a day after another accident early on Monday evening claimed 6 lives in the Dukamoja area on the Kericho-Nakuru highway, bringing to a total of 14 people who perished in a period of just 24 hours.
It's like it was trying to overturn. So what happened, I think it went head on with that trailer, losing control, and it killed almost 7 people.
Chichi Josephine, TV 47.
Now, the fate of striking doctors at the KU Referral Hospital is now hanging in the balance after the facility embarked on an exercise to recruit new health personnel to help at its oncology center. The Ministry of Interior has now warned the Doctors' Union against the ongoing countrywide strike, saying it contravenes the court order. However, KMPDU has held its mega demonstration in Nairobi as it pushes the government to heed to their demands. Elizabeth Atieno accompanied the doctors during the demos and filed this report.
Hope has been renewed for cancer patients at the KU Referral Hospital. From Monday this week, these patients have been able to access cancer treatment services after a while following the doctor's strike. The facility has sought help from some clinical oncologists in the region to fill the gap left by striking doctors.
Or the other hospitals, even for pain management, tunaenda tunapata hawawezi tushughulikia.
Tulikuwa tunataabika sana juu unakuta madawa ime-expire kwa mwili na mtu anaishiwa na nguvu, nasikia huna nguvu hata kidogo.
We have done about 45 chemos. These are the people who had started the chemo when the strike began, and they actually went home without finishing the chemo.
Additionally, KU Referral Hospital now says it has recruited more doctors from other countries to help at the oncology center, which begs the question as to what is the fate of the striking doctors at the facility.
We have some from Ethiopia. Of course, they had to be registered by the regulator, and we are still talking to others. And we have a lot of cancer patients, so even if the doctors ever come back, they will still continue.
Meanwhile, 1 p.m. Tuesday afternoon, a stampede ensued at the Afya House building as officers from the General Service Unit made their way to stop the demonstrating doctors. This as Interior CS Professor Kithure Kindiki issued a statement barring the medics from holding protests, saying it is in breach of court directives. KMPDU says they will not stop the strike and the protests.
Next week, we had said we were demonstrating on Wednesday, but we have changed. Next week, we'll demonstrate on Tuesday and Thursday.
Comrades, doctors, there is no successful demonstration without tear gas.
The remarks by President William Ruto saying the government is only able to pay the medical interns 70,000 Kenya shillings per month has received sharp criticism from the leaders and healthcare providers.
I do not accept the statement that there is no money.
Affordable housing is not one of our priorities, but
priority is wrong. Look at the budget that happened last year. How much was given to health? 141 billion Kenya shillings. That is a meager, is not even 6%.
We are buying umbrellas and doing at 3 million. And then you are telling us that there's no money. That is a total blackmail.
And as the doctors' strike enters its 27th day, the nutritionists and environmental and public health practitioners have issued a 1-week strike notice after the government failed to heed to their demands. Elizabeth Atieno, TV47, Nairobi.
Thank you, Elizabeth, for that. Azimio la Umoja has now made it clear that it supports the doctors' strike that is currently ongoing. Speaking at Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Foundation here in Nairobi, Azimio leaders led by Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka have said that the government should ensure that it looks into the welfare of the medics and review their demands. And the leaders say that over 500 people have died as a result of the strike, saying it is the responsibility of the government to ensure the doctors' strike comes to an end by listening and acting on the demands of the medics.
You have no money to pay your doctors, and yet you have money to give new jobs called CSs, creating offices and rewarding your cronies who lost elections to most of these honorable members of parliament and who are going to be earning more than the honorable members of parliament. And you're saying you cannot pay the doctors. This is the height of irresponsibility by any government.
It's important to remember that when the whole thing started, the Secretary General of the doctors' organization was actually not only tear gas but hurt, and we went to see him in the hospital. Since then, we had hoped that the Kenya Kwanza regime would have taken seriously the demands by the doctors. So, without much ado, we want to say we stand in absolute solidarity with the doctors.
22 senators allied to the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition have moved to court to challenge the implementation of the Affordable Housing Act, which was assented to into law by President Dr. William Ruto. Led by Busia Senator Okiya Omtata, the legislators have argued that the deduction of the levy is burdensome to Kenyans and should be made compulsory. Further directions on the case will be given tomorrow by Justice Chacha Mwita.
Barely a month since President William Ruto signed the Affordable Housing Bill into law, reinstating the contentious housing levy reductions, the Affordable Housing Act now faces a new hurdle as 22 Azimio la Umoja senators led by Busia County's Okiya Omtata have taken the battle to court, seeking to quash it in its entirety. These senators, along with 7 other human rights defenders specifically, take issue with the section of the new act that appoints the Commissioner General of the Kenya Revenue Authority as the collector of the affordable housing levy. They argue that this exceeds the Commissioner General's mandate and responsibility. They have also raised concerns about Section 4 and 5 of the Act, which impose the levy, claiming it to be arbitrary and economically burdensome for citizens. Senator Okiya Omtata seeks not only to quash the levy, but also to halt its collection until the Affordable Housing Fund is fully operational. He argues that collecting funds without proper oversight poses a risk of misuse and theft. The petitioners further want the matter referred to Chief Justice Martha Koome, saying the matter raises substantial questions of law that ought to be heard by an uneven number of judges. They have also asked the court to prohibit the National Land Commission, the State Department for Housing and Urban Development, and any other state organ or agency from approving the use of or using public land for the construction of houses to be privatized under the Affordable Housing Act 2024. The petitioners have brought their case against several governmental bodies, including the National Assembly, the Senate, and the Kenya Revenue Authority, among others. Justice Chacha Mwita has directed the pleadings to be served on the respondents immediately, with further directions to be issued on April 10. Ann Odida, TV 47.
Thank you, Anne. 6 people have died in less than 24 hours due to flooding following the heavy downpour that has been going on for the past few weeks. Through a statement, the Kenya Red Cross has issued a warning to Kenyans to be more heedful as they move to flood hotspot areas, as Ruga Ival now reports.
A short prayer to the Almighty for a safe delivery. After they almost lost their lives through their driver's decision, the bus carrying about 51 passengers and attempted to drive past a flooded road along the Nairobi-Garissa highway. What is serious is that even after he was advised not to cross, the pleas fell into deaf ears, a mistake that could have been very costly, as River Tana is about 100 to 200 meters wide. The floods were caused by the river breaking its banks. Rescue operations for the passengers commenced and no lives were lost.
All of them have been rescued as for now. We have Red Cross with us and many other agencies.
Similar calamities were witnessed in Kisumu County, where more than 200 houses were swept away by water in Benga village, with daily activities such as schooling getting disrupted.
Tumeshapeleka vilio vya watu wa Mbega kwa muda mrefu sasa.
Despite the ongoing flood crisis affecting various parts of the country, the situation took a different turn in Narok County as 4 people lost their lives in Tarokiat village, Narok South, due to deadly landslides. In Machakos County, the floods claimed 2 lives as 2 men drowned on their way home after attempting to cross the river.
Mafuriko na kwa mvua kubwa ambayo tunatarajia wakati huu. Tumeongea mipango ambayo tumeweka kati kwa kukumbatiana na mvua kali inayokuja. Kwa sasa hivi tunajua watu hule Budalangi kuna wale wametolewa manyumbani kwa sababu ya maji. Na kama county tumejiandaa, tumeanza mikakati ya respond kwa mambo ya wale ambao wameathirika.
The Meteorological Department has continuously urged Kenyans to take caution when traveling. The Kenya National Disaster Operations Center NDOC, on the other hand, has asked Kenyans living in highland areas to temporarily relocate. The long rains are expected to last until May. Ruga Iwal, TV 47.
Thank you, Ruga, for that. Tonight, Silica Booster Limited, the company at the center of the ongoing fake fertilizer probe, shifted blame to the Kenya Bureau of Standards (KEBS), claiming the government agency approved the fertilizer. SBL Innovative Director Josiah Kariuki was, however, unable to answer questions before the National Assembly's Agriculture Committee, which accused him of selling diatomite to farmers as fertilizer. Apollo Kamau now reports.
In a heated session of the Agriculture Committee of the National Assembly, SBL Director Josiah Kariuki, flanked by his lawyers Dunstan Omari and Cliff Ombeta, was pinned down by MPs on claims of distributing fake fertilizer to farmers, which he denied, and shifted blame to the Kenya Bureau of Standards, which he alleged cleared the fertilizer.
Between you and me, which report do we rely on, the signed one or the unsigned one?
I think we should ask KEBS for them to come and tell us what to rely on. It's not me. I haven't done physics, I haven't done chemistry, so it's for them to come and tell us.
Okay. I want to put it to you before everyone here that sure. Silica is your product, is sure. Your imagination that you're trying to sell to Kenyans, which is not there. And it is not a product that you can use for fertilizer whatsoever. It's a rock product. Quartz.
Kariuki faced a barrage of questions on the authenticity of his fertilizer since 2022, his dealings with KEBS and NCPB amid bribery claims, and whether he will compensate farmers for the loss, having distributed more than 100,000 bags of fertilizer through the National Cereals and Produce Board.
If you decide not to answer, we shall declare you a hostile witness, and then we release you. There is no problem.
I think some of the questions I can't even remember, because everybody is talking here.
You have chosen not to remember, okay. Mr. Kariuki.
It's okay.
From your own conviction,
yeah.
This product you are selling, is it a soil conditioner or an organic fertilizer?
I've been lost as well with the whole thing, what happened.
So if the farmers were to be compensated, and which he didn't answer, where would this company be found?
SBL, whose fertilizer, GPC Original Plus Organic Fertilizer, has already been declared substandard by KEBS, forcing Kariuki to sue the government agency. Kariuki, who has already secured a court order blocking his arrest over the fake fertilizer scandal, protested at the hearing for lack of fairness, an issue his lawyers protested about outside Parliament.
Ilikuwa ni vigumu sana Kariuki kukubaliwa kupata ushauri wa mawakili wake. Hawa ndio waliotengeneza sheria ambayo inaitwa Fair Administrative Act.
Apollo Kamau, TV47.
Thank you, Apollo, for that. With the season of the holy month of Ramadan coming to an end, the preparations for the Eid ul-Fitr holiday were at a peak in the city of Mombasa, with believers of the Islamic religion preparing to mark the end of one of the most important celebrations in the Islamic calendar. Take a look.
Interior CS Kithure Kindiki earlier today declared Wednesday a public holiday to celebrate Eid ul-Fitr. The holy month of Ramadan is regarded as one of the 5 important pillars of Islam, which saw the believers fast from dawn to dusk, while being urged to spend much of their time in prayer and reading the holy book of Quran. The Eid ul-Fitr holiday tomorrow will mark the end of Ramadan this year.
Nimekuja huko tunatafuta kanzu, manake kesho ni Eid. Manake kesho tunatarajia iwe Eid. Kwa sisi tumefunga kwanza Ramadan, tuliposikia tukaanza kufunga. Sasa leo tumekamilisha 30 na kesho tunatarajia Eid inshallah.
Traders in Marikiti Market in Mombasa are enjoying booming business as they experience a surge in the demand of goods, including clothes.
Eid imefanya biashara imekuwa, watu wote wamefanya biashara yao vizuri. Sisi kama delivery tumedeliver mzigo wetu, tumedeliver, biashara imekuwa mzuri.
Others complained of the high cost of living, adding that the rise in the prices of essential commodities and food products may affect the Eid celebrations as compared to previous Ramadans.
Kusema la kweli hapa watu markiti wanachukua advantage kwa kuwa kesho ni Eid, wanapandisha vitu wanapandisha vitu. Sasa yani vile wanapandisha vitu, mimi naona hilo si vizuri. lazima alikuwa yani waende na standard ya bei.
On the other hand, matatu drivers complained of increased vehicle congestion following the increased number of members of the public on the roads.
Jamu imeshika mbaya sana, fanya kazi ya ngumu sana. Hii Ramadhani tuomba pia tumefunga salama, isha salama, lakini pia tuomba angalau iishe, angalau pia sisi tufanye kazi. Maana sasa hivi watu wako shopping, lakini hiyo jamu balaa kwenda mbele.
The Islamic believers advocated for peace and stability in the country, stressing it as a vital component of progress and development.
Kwa Waislamu wote nawatakia Eid Mubarak insha Allah.
Paul Munio, TV 47, Mombasa.
Sports News brought to you by Safaricom Chapa Dimba.
Of course, Eid Mubarak to our Muslim brothers and sisters. Let's get sporty. And two teams which will win the overall title of the Under-18 Europe Day Kenya football tournament will fly to Romania for a 2-week training camp. The boys and the girls teams will play with the national teams of Romania. This was revealed by the ambassador of the European Union delegation to Kenya during the second round of the competition in Homa Bay County last weekend. Kobala girls and Ringa boys will represent the county during the national finals on the 17th of May at Ulinzi Stadium. Tony Kwalanda with the details.
Kobala girls and Ringa boys will battle for the 2 tickets available to fly to Romania for a 14-day training camp thanks to the European Union delegation to Kenya. Kobala girls will represent Homa Bay County in the national finals of the Europe Day Kenya football tournament, which will be played on 17th of May at Ulinzi Sports Complex. The former Nyanza region champions beat Ogande girls 1-0 in the Homa Bay finals played at Raila Odinga Stadium on 7th of April.
Kwenda Nairobi itatusaidia kunacha those best players wenye wanacheza vizuri kwa pitch na wale wenye wako perfect kwenda national team, na pia inatusaidia kunacha our talents.
Their performance in the class is just up to date. When they come into the field, they try to transfer what they do in the classes back into the field, and that gives us the advantage over other teams.
At the same time, Our Lady of Mercy Ringa boys also booked their ticket after overcoming Oriwo 1-0 in the final at Raila Odinga Stadium.
European Union tournament, it has supported our talent because we have managed to play with different teams, and I think right here we were having some scouts.
It has given us a very good opportunity to now bring the boys to expose themselves, to meet other worthy opponents, to now build on their game.
Homa Bay County hosted the second round of the Europe Day Kenya football tournament after the first one was held in Marsabit County last March.
We want to make this a standard feature in the sports agenda of Kenya. I just need to find the money so we can extend it to all 47 counties.
And this is not just a football tournament. I think it really is showing our young people, our young boys and girls, what the possibilities are. You know, what is open for them. They are just not local here in Homa Bay. There are possibilities all the way to Nairobi, but there are also possibilities all the way to Europe.
The third round of the tournament will be held in Kilifi County on 4th and 5th of May before heading to Nairobi County on 11th and 12th of May. This competition celebrates 2 big events which will take place in Europe this year: Euro 2024 in Germany and Paris Olympics. Tony Kwalanda, TV 47 Sports.
Thank you, Kwalanda, for that. National Secondary Term 1 school games officially kicked off this morning in Machakos County. The competition comprises of different sports disciplines, which include rugby 15s, hockey, handball, basketball, and athletics and cross-country, and teams will battle for top honors and the bragging rights to represent Kenya in the East Africa Games in Uganda. In the rugby category, heavyweight Butula registered a barren draw. Kisii Eastern Region Kitondo School defeated Lenana 17-16, while Mangu School sand Marafa 17-3.
I say, as a county government, we know sporting facilities are not enough. All I wish we work together with the national government to establish as many sporting facilities as possible, so that in all areas of sporting activities we have internationally recognized stars, because it is possible. If we can do that from the lowest part of the world level upwards, we will reach somewhere. I request, we have more sponsors. We have so many international and national and regional companies and organizations who are doing so well. I ask them to follow what Brookside is doing. Please come and support sportsmen and women so that we can grow as a country.
Sports news brought to you by Safaricom Chapa Dimba.
Past 9 p.m. local time. We thank you for watching the Daily Report. The sports news wind up the news segment of the Daily Report tonight, and as we had promised you, as is the norm, every Tuesday we bring you the People's Court. And the People's Court tonight comes to you with a difference. Now, in the last couple of weeks, we have seen the rising number of road carnages in the country. Tonight on the People's Court, we shall be discussing this in detail. But of course, a critical measure of seeing how all this works is attending to emergencies by use of first aid and paramedics. As you can see right there, the team is already set. Victor Muyakane and Linda Alela are on the other side. We shall be seeing what do you need to do or what needs to be done in the event these unfortunate incidents come your way, how to mitigate, how to deal with it, and of course, as well as how to avoid it. That three-dimension conversation coming your way right here on TV47, The People's Court. Keep tweeting at TV47 News, at George Maringa _, at Muyakane, at Linda _Alela. Use the hashtag People's Court, hashtag Daily Report. You're back in a